Too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that cap, too sexy for that jack.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another makeup tutorial. In today's video we are going to be doing this really pretty blue look. I haven't played in color in a really long time, and someone had also mentioned that they missed like my extra looks, and me too. So I also missed my crazy extra looks, so that is what we are doing in today's video. It is going to be a voiceover just because it's 10:15 at night. Blaze loves to be in my makeup room, and it's just impossible, literally impossible for me to film like a talking tutorial, so hope you guys don't mind that. Nonetheless, if you aren't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video, because I am a consistent queen and I am back. Bye guys. Hi you guys, let's get started. I'm gonna take a sip of water because, you know, gotta be hydrated. So this is my Pears Soap. This is how I've been doing my brows for probably the last year and a half. I go kind of back and forth between doing like a soap brow and just kind of doing it regularly. But I take my Pears Soap and I just spray whatever setting spray is on my desk at the moment, and kind of wet the soap, and then I just brush my hairs up and over. And then I'm taking my Benefit Boiing concealer. This is in the shade number 9, and I'm taking a flat definer brush and just carving out underneath my brows. I have also started to fill out my brows, or fill in my brows rather, last. So I'll be doing that in a little bit. I'm going to prime my lids with my Jaclyn Cosmetics eye primer. I love this stuff. I raved about it in the last tutorial that I used, and since I'm working with color, I wanted to use a primer that is really going to make it pop and stand out. And then I'm going to take some tape so that we have a nice clean sharp edge, and we're going to go into the Huda Beauty Wild Pythons Obsessions palette or something along those lines. I'm taking the matte teal shade. Now when I first watched the shade, I thought it matched my shirt like perfectly, but it didn't. It's way more green instead of like baby bluish. But I'm taking an E25 Max brush, and I started by placing it on my lash line and kind of doing it like patting it out in like a wing fashion, and then blending it into the crease. So now I am taking, I think it's Blew Me Away from MakeupGeek, which this shade, though it's darker than what my shirt is more on like the lines of like what I wanted the color to be. So I'm taking this with a Sigma brush. I can't even remember what number it is. It's like a dense kind of like crease brush, and I'm placing it kind of right over that. Then I'm taking this RawBeautyKristi palette. This is with her collab that she did with Pure Cosmetics. One side is like colorful eyeshadows and one side is matte, but I just used that to blend out the crease shade. And then I'm mixing the two MakeupGeek eyeshadows, like a dark green and a dark blue, mixing those two on a small like defining like fluffy brush. It's a really tiny Morphe fluffy brush, and just adding definition to that lash line. But then I'm going to take the shade in the middle, which is almost identical to the shade next to it, except it has a shimmer, and I'm taking a small dense eyeshadow brush, and I am applying this all over the lid. And then I'm going to take Danessa Myricks Firefly. This is one of the like multi-chrome pots, and I'm taking this with a Sigma eyeshadow brush that's like a flat synthetic brush, but it's super small, so great for like detailing in like a small area like this. But I'm applying it basically right over the shadow, and in hindsight I probably should have just left it how it was because I really liked how the shimmer looked, but it all came together nonetheless. This just added like a, you know, like an extra dimension, an extra like reflect. Like I love those reflects by Danessa Myricks, so went ahead and applied a little more shadow just to blend that out. And yeah, gonna sing my heart out. We're gonna move on to the face. So I am going to remove just a little bit of fallout that I had on my face and pin back my hair. Do y'all see this wig, baby? I applied that very well. Yes. Taking the Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I have not used this in a long time, but this primer is so smoothing. It just creates this like smooth film over the skin and makes your foundation go on so flawlessly. I'm taking the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. This is the best foundation ever. It's in the shade 55N. Like I mentioned in my foundation routine, I like to wear neutral foundations because while I do think that I am warm, just by being a black person, I think that I can go kind of either way. So I can wear like very cool tones and warm tones, and both of them will look nice on me. So I just personally like a neutral foundation. And this foundation is a medium coverage foundation, but you can build it up, but you don't need to because it gives a very flawless finish. So I'm taking the Benefit Boiing Cakeless Concealer. This is shade number 9, and it was looking kind of light, not gonna lie. So after applying this in all of the areas that I normally would to highlight, and also taking it along the edge of my eye to kind of sharpen that up and everything, I do go in with the shade number 10 just to kind of darken this a little bit, because I did feel like this concealer would have looked too light. And there is a such thing as a too light concealer, you guys. Trust me, I've been there. So I am going to, like I said, taking more of number 10 and just darkening up the concealer a little bit. And then I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk blending sponge. I think you can find this at Target for like $7. It's the best, like Beauty Blender Who. And I'm just blending this all out, making sure to get a really flawless finish, pulling my nose to the side so I can get along there, and just patting it out. And if you're not sure how to use a beauty sponge, you want to make sure your sponge is nice and wet. So take it under this faucet and just squeeze it, pump it probably like 5 or 6 times, and then squeeze all of the water out. And then I take like a towel or a napkin or something, and I put the sponge in it and I squeeze it so it absorbs any excess water, because there is a such thing as being too wet. You don't want it to be too wet. So I'm taking my Midnight Luxury Banana Powder. I absolutely love this powder. It's probably my top 3 for a setting powder. I am running out of it, so I do need to replace it, so I'm using whatever I can. And then taking the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. I have been loving this powder for like baking and brightening up my under eye. And I'm taking this like little wedge sponge that you can find on Amazon, and just patting that underneath of the eye, down the bridge of the nose, the forehead, basically everywhere where I applied my Midnight setting powder. I'm just going over it. I know it's redundant and you don't need to do both, but this is what works for me. This is the Fenty Pro Matte Foundation Powder, pressed powder. I think this is in the shade either 450 or 550, but I'm taking a Sigma soft blend brush and just applying that all over. And then of course my Blazy wanted to say hi, so look at him, he's so big, you guys. He is always in my room when I'm filming, so it makes it really hard to do, you know, talking videos. So I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place bronze palette. This is in the shade Deep Dark, and I'm just taking a large fluffy brush and just like bronzing up the sides of my face, the sides of my forehead, my cheekbones, you know, all of that, chin, everything, and then just brushing away any of the excess powder. And then I'm gonna take I think this is a Sigma E39 Buff and Blend brush, and just go along the sides of my nose just to contour, slim it down, snatch it up, go over the top to create kind of like that little button, like, you know, have like a button nose. And then I'm going to take some blush. I'm taking Benefit Cosmetics Java blush, and I love blush. If you know, you know, I love blush, so I'm taking a Stilazzi blush brush, which has been my favorite blush brush for the longest time. It's so dense, and it just applies the product so beautifully. So I'm applying that all over it, and then I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the shade Molten Gold with a Stilazzi like small highlighter brush, and just hit all of the areas like my cheekbones, my forehead, the nose, the cupid's bow, the chin, pretty much everywhere where you would normally highlight. And I am kind of going a little ham just because this is an extra look, you know. This mascara is the Huda Beauty mascara. I can't remember the name of the mascara, but applying mascara, Then I'm going to go in and fill in my brows with the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil. This has been my favorite brow pencil for probably the last 2-3 years. And it always works great. I am in the shade number 5, and I'm just lightly filling in any of the sparse areas. I don't want a super bold, thick, dark, defined brow, which nothing wrong with that, but I think with this look, it just wasn't what it needed to be. This is a ColourPop liner. I think it's in the shade Far Away. It's like a teal, and it just added the perfect pop. I was obsessed. I'm taking the 2 green shades, the green and the navy, like the blue shade, mixing those 2 again, and I'm tight lining really close to my lower lash line with an E15 by Sigma. And then I'm taking Blew Me Away, I think, from MakeupGeek as well, and just using a pencil brush just to blend that out, and just brushed away any of the excess powder. And then we are going to move on to setting our face. I always make sure I set my face after I apply any more eyeshadow, so I started with the e.l.f. Blue Light setting powder or setting spray, and then I use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist because that is like my tried and true, like that setting powder or setting spray is the best. So these lashes are lashes that I get in a pack of 3. They're mink lashes, and it's kind of like a little wispy, you know, a little smaller in the inner corner and then gets longer in the outer corner, but it does have a really pretty curl. I can link them down below for you if you guys are interested, but so stunning. They weren't super long, so I think they really tied in with the look. Then I'm taking the white shade from the other side of the RawBeautyKristi with Pure collaboration. This white is super pigmented, so I applied that in the inner corner for a nice pop. And then some mascara. This is the Jordana Best Lash Extreme mascara. It's my favorite. Oh my gosh, not Oslo over there snoring like that. Sorry if you hear that. That is my favorite mascara for my lower lashes. This is Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liner in Bold Brew. I just randomly found this lip liner one day at Ulta. I was, you know, splurging, and I am applying that all over my lips for a really defined deep brown lip liner. And then I'm taking her lipstick in Decaf, which I think these are all discontinued, but this is my favorite lipstick shade. It's more of a cool tone, but it's such a pretty satin lipstick. It's very comfortable. The color is perfect. I think it really added the final like finishing touch to it. I did go ahead and apply a little more lip liner just to make sure that my lips were still defined. And then I am taking Urban Decay's lip gloss. This is like a plumping lip gloss in the shade Runyon, which is basically like clear, but it has a little tint to it. It's this nude color. It's very pretty. But that was my final touch, you guys. Like this lip gloss, I am a lip gloss girl. I will always apply it. So I put that on my lips, and then I just cleaned up some of the boo-boos that I made with mascara with a Q-tip, because you want to make sure that you let it dry first and then start to rub it away. And that is it, you guys. This is me taking my clips out of my hair. I did crimp it while it was on the wig stand, and then I applied it. If you want to see the wig application, head over to my Instagram to see that. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was extra enough for you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Mwah, bye.